What's up guys, welcome back. On my previous video I showed you a set of calipers, Acura RL calipers, that I was planning to install in this project that I have going on here. Uh, but as also mentioned previously, I came across a few hurdles where the RL calipers are extremely big. They're very beefy calipers. They came off an Acura RL, much bigger car than this one obviously. So as a result of that, it came with good performance braking power, but it also would have forced me to uh, increase in rotor size and wheel size as well. Now, that's kind of like a given as far as doing these big brake kits with any vehicle, increasing the rotor size. But in a car like this, I was looking at a 13-inch rotor, which is massive as is. Would have come off a 350Z, would have had it re-drilled to a 4x100. And not only that, as I mentioned, I would have also needed to go up in size into a 17-inch. I do a lot of spirited driving. I'm not really a show guy. I really don't do shows. I do a lot of spirited driving. I go up in the mountains. I really just test my cars, and and that's just the kind of driving that I do. And going, increasing the weight, the rotational mass, and the size of the wheels and all that, it really wasn't feasible for me. However, I still wanted to move forward with the upgrade, and I didn't want to just buy anything off the shelf like I've done in the past with the Will Woods spoon calipers, which I currently run in one of my other vehicles, which I'll show you on another video. I'll give you a rundown and with those. I really just kind of wanted to work on these myself and basically start from scratch. So I found these, which came nicely wrapped, and I have had these sitting for about a week now. I haven't had the chance to just even unwrap them, but we're gonna do it here together, and so you guys can see exactly which calipers are gonna go on this car. So here we have it, guys. The Porsche Boxer 986 calipers, 4-piston monoblock. I believe these are a stagger 38, 40 millimeters. Like I said, these came off the Porsche Boxer manufactured from 1996 to 2004. Way ahead of its time. I found these and they're pretty much in immaculate condition. Really clean calipers. They're gonna go in this vehicle. Like I mentioned in my previous video, the RL calipers in comparison to these, I ended up getting rid of those because I wasn't doing anything with them. These are more slick, for lack of better words, meaning I can see why some guys are able to run 15-inch wheels, which is what I like to do. Anything past 15, I mean, like I said, I like spirited driving, I like twisties, road racing, that's what I'm into, and these are, they will allow you to run the 15-inch, whereas I believe that RL calipers came out to all the way, I mean, they were really beefy and chunky. These are a lot more slick, a little more manageable, and you still get the benefit of the 4-piston staggered. And I love the fact too, I really like the fact, and I didn't mind it on the RLs too, that these are monoblock, which are just one-piece calipers, whereas the RLs were twin block. So these are the stock Brimbos, which Porsche use. They still use in many of their lines. The 986, that's what you want to look at for part number 986, and the last three is 421, 986, 422, which essentially is left and right. So yeah, guys, super excited to work on these. I already have all the seals, boots, hardware. I mean, these are gonna go through a complete overhaul They're a little filthy and beat up right now, but they're gonna go through a complete cleanup. I was really struggling, debating between whether I should have these powder coated or painted. If I would have gone the painted route, obviously I would have done it myself. But I feel like when it comes to wheels and when it comes to calipers, things that come in a little more contact with the road, debris, pebbles, rocks, what have you, powder coating is hands down the best route. And also you're dealing with brake fluids and things of that nature. Powder coating is going to be a lot more resistant to paint. Absolutely nothing wrong with paint, but I feel like with a powder coat you get a much slicker, it's almost as if you were to wrap it in like glossy rubbery paint, and it just kind of fills up all the imperfections, like the really minor imperfections, right? Not like this from the casting. So it really gives it a more upscale, refined look. And I was also debating between doing the Porsche acid green that would match, I think, really nicely with this electron blue pearl. But since I'm putting different wheels, not those, on the car, the wheels that I'm going to go on these are color pressed graphite, which are these very metallic, glossy, silverish, grayish color. And I think that would contrast a lot better with the yellows, the Brembo. I'm calling them Brembo yellows, but they're just a very comparable color to the Brembo yellows, which I finally decided I'm going to have these done on. So yeah, let's take these apart. But first, let me show you all the hardware that I have here and all the accessories that I'm going to be using here. Oh, one thing I wanted to point out, like these wires here, which were cut. It's really like crazy to me. I mean, how ahead of their time, like even Porsche and all the car manufacturers were. Essentially, what these are sensors, which like almost get attached to your brake pads, and that tells you how much brake life you have left on your vehicle. I personally think, and I'll say this because I'm a car enthusiast and I work on cars, totally unnecessary. But I get why it's on there for, I don't know, people who really aren't into cars. They don't know when to swap out the brake pads or when they're going bad. Just simply get a warning light on there. But these are, of course, going to get pulled out. No need for these. I don't even have a system that would just host these, so totally unnecessary. But let's go back and let me show you the accessories. So here I have all the gaskets, seals, all the part numbers, which I'll go ahead and include on the description. Bleeder screws, caps, and I even got the push pins, which I really didn't need to be honest, but it came with the retainers because I could just very well clean these up over here and reuse them. But I guess I'll throw in the new ones, and they came also with the where they go, the little clips, which are in here also. So these are all the part numbers for it.